What's going on, everybody? Dev Del Molino here, the synthesizer of opinions. Today I'm back with a 65432 review, as you know how we do it, and today we're talking Oxnard by Anderson.Paak. 65432, 6 minutes, 5 things to know about this album, 4 favorite tracks from this album, 3 adjectives to describe the album, and at the end we have 2 potential ratings to give the album. Is it hot or is it not? Did I like it, or does the album kind of suck? So without further ado, 5 things to know about the album starts with the fact that we're listening to Anderson.Paak, also known as Brandon Paak Anderson. Didn't know that before, I had to look it up. Anyways, he's from Oxnard, California, where the namesake of the album obviously comes from. And this is Paak's 3rd studio album. It's 14 tracks, 56 minutes long. And something that's not super obvious if you're just listening to this on Spotify is that the last 2 tracks of the album are bonus tracks. So then technically that makes Oxnard 12 songs, about 48 minutes in length. We do have some Dr. Dre production on here, about 3 or 4 songs, but the imprint of Dr. Dre is clearly all over this thing, and I personally really like that about the album. Anderson.Paak really got his first biggest break through the Dr. Dre Compton album. He is a Dr. Dre discovery in the same way you would call Eminem, Snoop, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, people who went to the school of Dr. Dre, if you will. So that was his big beginning, and now we're here with one of the biggest releases of 2018 in Oxnard. And I have to say that I loved a lot of the material that I heard on here, as I hoped I would. So let's kick my 4 favorite songs on the album off with the very beginning of the album. The Chase is fantastic. I love the little woodwind flute intro. I love how this thing builds itself up at the very beginning. There are a variety of different ways that they choose to deliver the vocals, and it keeps this song fast and interesting and generally really exciting to open the album with. And a quick note here, Head Low, the 2nd song on the album, is not one of my favorites, but the transition from tracks 1 to 2 on this album really do show what Anderson.Paak is all about, in the sense that we go from this really amazing, very masterfully made, produced song to then we launch into a song about Roadhead. But yeah, I just couldn't help but notice those are the 2 sides of Anderson.Paak displayed right there at the beginning of the album for you. So my 3rd favorite song on the album is Mansa, Musa, which is produced by Dr. Dre, features Dr. Dre and a female rapper I have yet to hear of, Coco Sarai. Now this song is an ode to one's bullshit and the thrill of being on one's bullshit, much in the same way that I think King Kunta by Kendrick Lamar is for the To Pimp a Butterfly album. And the reason I say that is because both of these songs have sort of a ghetto royalty vibe going for them, with sort of a motherland African tinge to both of them as well. Now this is where I'm going to stop and say that I think this album actually takes a lot from To Pimp a Butterfly and the Kendrick Lamar era of that time. Again, Kendrick Lamar is on the album, he's a collaborator. Dr. Dre is overseeing the project and he has much influence in Kendrick Lamar's career. So while there are a variety of moments on the album where I think that influence is sprinkled in, this is one of the most direct parallels between one song here and another song there that I see kind of explicitly, in my opinion. But I love the instrumental, I love the little accents that you'll hear throughout, and I love the Dr. Dre verse. Very, very good song. My 2nd favorite song on the album is My Brother's Keeper, featuring Pusha T, and it is the 2nd half of this song that is just so good. It's one of those I could listen to again and again and again, never get tired of it. But the first half of this song is great as well. A really cool collaboration between 2 rappers that I didn't really ever imagine coming together, but the outcome of that collaboration sounds really nice. And overall, the features across the album are excellent. Paak has picked people like himself who just really know what they're doing. You kind of know what to expect from people like Pusha T, like Dr. Dre, like Kendrick Lamar. Finally, my number 1 favorite song on the album. An album full of really great songs, so I think this is saying a lot. I think this is a song of the year. 6 Summers. I adore the very beginning, the intro to this song. Bonafide funk out the door. And then one of the best opening lines to a song I've ever heard. Trump's got a love child. I hope that bitch is buck wild. And then the change of pace to this song is really nice. It keeps this particular track and the album shifty, a little unpredictable, as many songs on the album have been. And then I enjoy this being kind of the highlighted moment of sustenance on the album. Really great lyrics and point of thought. And then instrumentally, sonically, lyrically, everything here is, again, just really professionally done. Again, I would say probably in my top 5 to 10 favorite songs of the year, for sure. Now, to describe the album, my first adjective describes Anderson.Paak in a nutshell. Entertaining. No matter what, whenever I have this album on, I'm happy to be hearing it. And Anderson.Paak embraces being at the very center of it. Sure, the features and the production and kind of everything about it are really, really great. But you love listening to Anderson because he alone is great with or without those extra resources, amenities. I'm also really happy to say that this thing is a little unpredictable. It never quite blew me away with anything that I just would never have expected from him. But I noticed myself chewing on this this thing a lot, taking it very slow before I'm digesting and reporting it to you guys, which I think says a lot about an album that I had a lot of expectations going into listening, which would mean Anderson is trying to expand himself with this project and take a little bit of a new direction. And finally, I would say my biggest critique to the album is that it's kind of sub-epic. This album, in my opinion, is Paak's summit to superstardom, if you will. A lot of people waited for this album, tore the proverbial packaging off of it. So of course there are a lot of expectations, and like I said, Anderson does a good job of mixing things up, but I gotta be honest here and say that I was hoping for what sounded like a future classic from Anderson, who I know is capable of making a classic hip-hop record. And it's a little short of maybe one or two mind-blowing moments where I really think this album would begin to resonate with me on like a really, really profound level. So in the end, it is just a really well-made album, a well-produced, well-performed, well-executed album, and it falls just short of some admittedly hopeful expectations that I had. So hot or nah, of course, very hot. I will always welcome new Anderson.Paak music. In my opinion, right now, top 5 rapper. Easy. Does so much more than so many other rappers out there right now. And here's another project to solidify that. And that is going to be it for me, Dev Del Molino, 65432, Anderson.Paak, Oxnard. We did it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Dev Del Molino. New Music Monday, every Monday at 6 p.m. on my story. Check it out. New Music Monday by Dev Del Molino, Spotify playlist. Check it out. Twitter, Dev Del Molino. YouTube, Dev Del Molino, check it out. And remember, art without favor is like a windmill without wind. Yes, Lord. Dev Del Molino, out.